What was on our list? Pariah Nexus, wasn't it?
Apparently.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Oh man, our subscribers are patient people. Maybe they just pity us, I don't know.
Yeah. Did your parents subscribe? It's 2 of that 9.
They did not. I don't even my parents know what fucking YouTube is, man.
Mr. and Mrs. Allen Senior.
I rather enjoyed Pariah Nexus.
It was great.
I have to say, there were a few little bits I didn't like, but overall, I was impressed.
Yeah.
The number one thing that I was impressed by was how fucking grimdark it is.
It was, yeah, very. I'm assuming we're avoiding spoilers here, like for the very end. Yeah.
Yes, we are going to avoid.
I would have. I think the end was just about as ambiguous as I would have liked without getting the ump.
I would have preferred it not to have set up a sequel series, if I'm being honest. And the reason for this is basically that Pariah Nexus is kind of, like, as far as 40k goes, been and gone.
Yeah.
Like, they did a Kill Team Pariah Nexus box. It was shit. People only bought it because it had the heavy intercessors in it. Not been mentioned since. It's a bit of a weird thing to have a series come out for it and carry on that series if it carries on. But I was very, very impressed by the fact that it pulled no punches and there was no plot armor. I won't go into spoilers.
Flawed characters all over the shop.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great. And from that perspective, I was very, very impressed. I also felt that the sales of the factions, although limited to technically 4 factions, was very good. Yeah. Salamander in particular was very good.
He was great.
And the animation was top notch. So yeah, overall, I really liked it. We can't go into spoilers, but if you want something that I think the only thing I would have liked to have seen is a touch more of the kind of flashbacky full battle stuff.
Yeah. But I'd imagine that's probably quite intensive on the resources.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be expensive. And
I mean, it was 3 episodes as it is.
Oh, what? An hour? Say 50 minutes in total? The last one was 25 minutes, but you had like 2 minutes of, about 5 minutes of sort of trailers and back stuff and stuff like that. So, and then the other 2 are about 15 minutes each by the time you're taking out that stuff. So I reckon about 50 minutes in total to an hour. It's not cheap to animate that much.
I could probably go and check. No, not to that quality. I mean, I know we disagreed on it last week, but I think the quality is on par with Blizzard stuff.
I stand by that. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do for this video. I might be wrong, and I'm fully prepared to admit I'm wrong, and I'm going to edit it out if I am. I'm not. But I'm going to put up some screenshots of the Diablo 4 trailer, Pariah Nexus, and the Dawn of War 3 trailer.
Yep.
Just to see where it lies in between, because I'm curious myself. I personally think it's a bit under Blizzard, but it is very good, and it is the best we've seen. Some of the lip syncing was annoyingly off, and it looked a lot better when all the helmets were down, especially for the Sister of Battle character. Sister Danica?
Yeah, I think so. Sakan, I think, was the salamander.
Yeah, Sakan was the salamander. But yeah, in general...
did the guardswoman get a name?
Sorry?
Did the guardswoman get a name?
I don't think so.
No. I mean, in hindsight, it's not surprising. But yeah. But no, she was a good character. They're all good characters, to be fair.
Yeah, and the problem with the thing with the guardswoman is I'd seen it before.
Well, yeah.
So when it happened, I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of...
It's one of those things where...
You got half a clap out.
If you pay a lot of close attention to stuff building up to that, you might see it coming. But if you're just a casual watcher, then you probably won't. I didn't see it coming, and I was kind of like, oh, okay, you've done that. And I was quite impressed because of the way it was done. I didn't see any clues building up to that, and I was just like, fair enough, good job.
I'd read a Nick Heim story that did something very, very, very similar. Short story in the Horus Heresy, and I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of see what's happening here. And it almost exactly the same scenario. Again, no spoilers. And if you're inadvertently I'll edit them out. But yeah, it was the grimdark. It was the grimdark for me. especially the very ending. I was like, oh yeah, that's proper fucking. Oh
yeah.
Didn't exactly think he'd go there, and you did. So yeah, fair play.
Well, sort of. Like I said,
Heavily implied.
heavily implied. But there's enough ambiguity there for if you don't like that, you can just go, no, I don't think they did. I think it was something else.
But if you really know anything about the universe of 40k, then it's quite obvious what happened.
Yeah, it's quite an uncaring universe.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a nice place. But yeah, I mean, the main problems I had was a kind of a lack of resolution between Salamander and the Necrons, and the fact that it kind of baited a sequel that I don't think we need.
Maybe. I think they just basically used up their budget and did the best they could.
I think that's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, and just went, we'll just leave it at that, and if it gets picked up later for more, then cool. And if not, then we did a really good job, and I'm okay with that.
The main problem I have is that there is nothing that I've seen, and again, feel free to correct me in comments if I am incorrect, that suggests where Warhammer Plus goes from an animation perspective from here.
As in how they can.
What's next? What's the next animation we should give a shit about?
More Hammer and Bolter, I expect.
I would welcome that for reasons that I'll go to into a second, but I've not seen anything. And the problem I have with Warhammer Plus is just I don't think the problem I have with Warhammer Plus is I can tell somebody like, dude, this is great, like there's a good thing, but at the same time I can be like, you could subscribe for 1 month, consume everything, and fuck it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a
unfortunately
there's a little bit of hubris involved by them doing their own Warhammer TV and having it all there. I personally, I think they would have had a much further reach had they have licensed it out to an existing streaming platform like Netflix or Amazon Prime.
Absolutely, 100%. That's exactly what I said when it first launched. I said, why aren't you just selling this to Netflix? Because then you reach everybody. You look at Astartes on YouTube. People watched that who had no idea what Warhammer was. And they're like, oh, this is fucking cool. What's this? There's a game behind it. There's models behind this. Wow, what's this Warhammer thing? I have no idea. And what GW they basically done is just done it not as well and paywalled it.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you could have watched the Astartes and then at the end of it still had absolutely no idea what was happening at the very end compared to anyone else that was actually in the hobby.
But it was impressive. It was action packed. It was cool.
It was.
It got a lot of attention. And again, why they didn't just go right Netflix? This costs Games Workshop money.
Yeah.
Warhammer Plus has lost them money. From their last report, it lost them money.
Yeah, I mean, you can potentially write it off as if to say, oh yeah, we're growing the platform, so we're prepared to take a loss on it to a point.
Maybe they are. Yeah, prepared to look at it as a loss leader.
But then it's kind of like, well, you just need to keep adding to it and increase the value and make it worth it.
They're losing subscribers. They're not gaining subscribers. And most streaming platforms are showing the same pattern. And there would have been a lot less risk if they had just reached out, and a lot more reach. Less risk, more reach. I'm not going to say necessarily more money, but more reach if they had put it on Netflix.
And let's face it, more reach means more potential sales. So,
at the moment, the only people who are going to see these animations are people who already do Warhammer.
Yeah.
Because nobody who doesn't do Warhammer will subscribe to Warhammer Plus.
No, because they've got no reason to.
They just won't do it. Whereas if they put it on Netflix or something, okay, they might not have made the revenue that they did. And as I say, I still believe they've lost money because at the end of the day, this all costs money. And the people that they hire for these jobs, like the heavy metal masterclass painter, Louise, her job was £31,000 a year.
The Suggs.
Yep, so that's what Suggs was getting paid. And for GW, that's a lot of fucking money. Like when you consider their standard wage is like 10 grand less than that, so I reckon that they've probably made a loss on Warhammer Plus so far.
Quite possibly.
I don't know why they didn't stick it on Netflix. And why don't we? Again, this may well end up on a separate video, but this happens sometimes. It did with Combat Patrol. Why don't we just talk about Warhammer Plus for a little bit? I've been subscribed for Warhammer Plus since the beginning.
Same here.
I started off watching all of it. I watched all of the battle reports. I watched all of the painting tutorials. I watched all of the animation.
I've only done the animations. Like I kind of had a bit of a brief shifty at all the White Dwarfs and stuff that they chucked on it, because I've still got a shitload of White Dwarfs.
The Vault makes me angry.
Yeah, same here. One of the reasons from reading old White Dwarfs would be to get the skinny on old game systems that you fondly remember from when you were younger, and it's all really gone, and that just seems really petty.
Yep,
It's
petty.
like it's like you don't sell these systems anymore. You've got nothing to lose by keeping the rules in the thing. In fact, it's probably more work to upload stuff to Warhammer TV and stripping the rules out than it is just to go with it as it is and leave everything in there. Because
So
people
in
will be like,
White Dwarfs, if you remember correctly, when they released their box games, so you remember Overkill.
yes,
So Overkill came out. It was Gene Stealers versus Death Watch.
yes,
About 5 months, 4 or 5 months after Overkill come out, they released rules for using Tempestus Scions in White Dwarf. So you could use them in Overkill against the Gene Stealer cults instead of the Death Watch. And I bought a load of Tempestus Scions for that reason. I was like, oh, cool, that'd be fun. I would expect to see that in the Vault.
yeah. Obviously, they don't want to sell more Scions.
Oh yeah, exactly. They obviously don't want to sell more Scions.
Don't want to sell none of that. We'll just take those rules out. That'll teach them.
Why is it not there?
It's so short-sighted. It's just so odd.
I don't understand it. I can understand. Obviously, they've got like those army books and stuff like that up in there as well, or at least campaign books. And I can understand the perspective of we don't want to print outdated rules, but just put a fucking disclaimer on there.
Yeah.
Why are you depriving people of this stuff and just putting the law up? Okay, law is very nice, don't get me wrong, but if it's a Vault, it should contain all of it.
It should.
So yeah, the Vault, big miss for me. I've not touched it. One of the other things that they said that would be a big plus about Warhammer Plus would be loads and loads of subscriber offers and subscriber-only stuff.
Not sure I've seen any of that. I think the only subscriber-only thing is going to be their 40k app. Although they have said now they're not moving the entire app into like behind the Warhammer Plus paywall.
No, you can only do one army, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to do multiple armies,
again, from my perspective, that's a lie. I've seen fuck all. I mean, there's been a couple of giveaways and stuff like that have been, sort of, but nothing to write home about. You get a £10 voucher once a year that runs out after 4 weeks. That can only be used in the Warhammer web store and stuff like that. But yeah, the Vault and the subscriber exclusive, you feel special because you subscribe to Warhammer Plus, are both massive misses for me. So let's move on to the Citadel Masterclass.
I haven't watched any.
So I have both. I've not seen the new Glass, who's replaced Louise, but I watched Louise and, oh God, I want to say Damien, but it's not Damien. The other chap. And they're pretty good. They're well presented. But it is absolutely 100% nothing that I can't get for free on YouTube from other people.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, I think if you're going to do anything paint related, then Games Workshop are always going to run into that.
And I found that with the Citadel Masterclasses, what very quickly happened was that it turned into, here's how to paint this week's release model.
Promotions.
So while they're quite good, and there's a couple that I watched and I learned a few bits, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. I would say that the masterclass side of it and the painting side of it is nothing that you've not been able to get free on YouTube for the last God knows how many years. There's a lot of YouTubers out there, and we will do a video in the future, Matt, that I want to do where we talk about our favourite YouTubers.
Are we sticking to the hobby, or?
Yeah, preferably about the hobby. Yeah, there's nothing on there apart from Louise's lovely face and the guy whose name I can't remember, appealing face. Until they got rid of them and made it all only hands, big scandal. And the reason why Louise left was there's nothing there I can't get on YouTube. Some of the tips are nice and everything, but YouTube has all of that shit for free. Yeah. So that's 2 big parts of Warhammer Plus talked about. Let's talk about Lore Masters.
Again, never bothered.
I've watched quite a few of them, and they're quite nice. Wade does some of them, and the other guy who's got a quite nice voice does them. And obviously they're in the official GW lore, talking about stuff. Again, it was very flavour of the month. This is what's being released. This is what we'll talk about. It's nothing that I can't get on YouTube. There are multiple lore YouTubers on YouTube who do more comprehensive, more concise versions of what is available for money on Warhammer Plus. So that's 3 big parts of Warhammer Plus we've talked about. Let's talk about battle reports. Warhammer Plus battle reports are in. Have you watched many?
No, you're on your own there as well.
Right. You got your money's worth out your subscription, dude.
Oh, well, I really enjoyed Hammer and Bolter and all of the animations.
We're going to talk about the animation because I did really enjoy Hammer and Bolter, and the ones that I caught up on recently, particularly. But let's talk about battle reports. They're insanely corporate.
I think I saw the first Heresy one, and that was about it.
Fairly well produced, good production values, well shot. Obviously, it's official GW. The 2 big problems I have is 1, they're insanely corporate. As I say, 3 problems actually. 1, they're insanely corporate and kind of, I don't want to say soulless because the presentations do a fairly good job, but they're overly professional in that kind of new rulebook way. It doesn't feel like I'm watching people playing a game so much as demonstrating a game. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
2, they're very, again, flavour of the month. This is what's out this week. This is what we're going to show you. You know, please buy it because it's probably going to win. 3, leaning into that, I am 80 to 90% sure they're scripted. 1 in particular, which is the one they did when they did the new Warhammer 10th edition release, actively doing things to replicate what happens in the animated trailer that they made.
Right.
And that was the time that I thought, you know what, I think these are scripted.
Quite a claim. Manipulate those dice.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen some dice rolls that I don't believe. There's some very, very, very convenient fucking dice rolls on that game, on those battle
was it Blood Bowl? Was it the Blood Bowl computer game level of convenient dice rolling?
Cheating fucking computer face. Don't talk to me about Blood Bowl AI. But yeah, the battle reports, again, I can get them better on YouTube for free. I've not watched many of the last battle reports. Guys who are playing the games, be it Ben, be it Nick, be it Simon, super enthusiastic, love what they do.
Is that Simon Grant? Nice.
Yeah, Simon
I met
Grant,
him around on the open day for around 6th edition. He's a thoroughly good chap. I had a good chat with him.
Yeah, very personable bloke. I last spoke to him when Lee Marshall bought his 4 million Titans down to Warhammer World.
Maybe we should get Lee on there, given that he's our mate.
We should do, absolutely. I'll be up for getting Lee on it. And they wouldn't even come down to take a photo of it for White Dwarf. I was not impressed. He was less impressed. But yeah, I feel like the GW battle reports are very scripted, or at least seem scripted, corporate, and are flavour of the month. And again, I can get them anywhere else for free, better. Play on tabletop, do better battle reports. Winter's SEO does better battle reports, in my opinion. So yeah, that's battle reports. So Warhammer Plus is unfortunately not doing so well at the moment.
However,
the next bit to speak about is the animation,
which we actually really enjoyed.
Although they are few and far between, considering they killed off Starties 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we've still not seen it. So like, we've killed off Starties from YouTube, we've bought the dude, taken him under our wing, he's going to make stuff for us. Where is the Starties Volume 2?
Yeah, I mean, the original's on there.
All the other people that they've taken. In 2 years, we've had some nice stuff. We've not had much stuff.
Oh, I don't know. There's been quite a lot of Hammer and Bolter. But 2 years.
Fair chunk of Hammer and Bolter, but other than that, we've had what? Bloody Angels.
Angels of Death. Angels of Death.
Cow thing.
Yeah, then you had... That was the Exodite.
Yeah, the Exodite.
You had Interrogator.
Hammer and Bolter. And Pariah Nexus.
Yeah, Black Talon. If
I can't think of anything else, but that is 5 series that we're talking about over 2 years. Not enough to sustain your streaming platform, I'm sorry.
Again, should have licensed it out to a bigger platform.
Absolutely should have. Interrogator wasn't bad.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yep, cheap animation, but good story. Mature, maybe a little bit too sweary. I do have some problems with 40,000 years in the language. In 44... No, yeah. I've drunk all the rum. All the rum is gone. 40,000 years in the future, the language still being so similar, but I suppose you could just say it's transcribed High Gothic or whatever. Yeah, Low Gothic. Interrogator, yeah, was adult, good fun. Exodite was good, but very short.
It was very short, but I did enjoy it.
Very, very short. Like, oh, this is gold. Oh, it's over.
Initially, I was like, "Why have you called this the Exodite when it's all about the towel? They're not Exodites at all." And then I was
Yes.
like, "Oh, there's one."
And now it's done.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
yeah, that was it was okay.
But I think that started off life as a third party as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Now that's interesting. Okay, I did not know that. And the Blood Angels thing was pretty good, but it had awful lip sync that I found really distracting.
Angels of Death. Yeah, I mean that was the chap who
But
did Hell's Reach.
yes, it was.
Is
But
it
they're getting better.
Michael Boylan? Bolan?
Yes.
Am I completely
I
showing
have no
myself
idea,
up?
I have no idea, dude. But Hell's Reach was great. I loved that on YouTube. That was very, very good.
Hell's Reach was very good. Like Angels of Death, I kind of liked, but as you said, I think the only thing that let it down really was the audio. Like the lip
Yes.
syncing was a bit off, and holy fuck, the weapon sounds were so measly,
Oh my god, they were so bad.
so bad.
There must be somebody at GW who has to approve all this shit.
Yeah, which is probably quite
And
embarrassing for them, unless they don't
how that
actually
got
care.
past them, I don't know. But yeah, the story was pretty cool. The Black Rage affecting the dude. And at the end, it wasn't the dude I thought either. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Genius of the Cults, blah 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 blah, and that'll come into Hammer and Bolter in a minute. We talked about Pariah Nexus, and I've not seen all of Storm Talon still.
I haven't even. Black
But
Talon.
I have. Oh yeah, sorry. Black Talon, Neve Black Talon. But I have fully caught up on Hammer and Bolter.
I'm not sure if I have actually.
I've watched all 50. It's 15 episodes in total. I'd watched up until the Nurgling one last time.
Oh, it's the Nurgling one was
Nurgle
brutal.
one.
That was a brutal episode.
It was really, really good.
Plague Song.
There's only about 5 after that, dude.
Yeah,
The next two
I've
are.
seen them all. I'm sitting here
Yeah, the next two are Age of Sigmar ones.
looking at the list now, but yeah, I've seen them all.
Yeah. The one I want to talk about is the Tyrannid one. It's the one before Undercity.
Ah, A New Life.
A New Life. Oh my god, I fucking love that.
It was great. It was absolutely great. And right at the end, I was like, oh.
Yeah, yeah. I was already happy seeing the Tyranid invasion of a world, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, you guys is fucked.
Yeah, that was some good brutal stuff.
But that last little bit at the end, I was like, oh,
a little twist of a knife.
Yes, that was. I really, really enjoyed that because I binged them all like 5 in a row.
Yeah.
And the Age of Sigmar ones was like, yeah, they're all right. I was like, yeah, I'll do this. Yeah, that's okay. But then that came on, New Life, and I was like, oh yes. And then I think it was Undercity.
Undercity is the vampire one?
There's the vampire one, yeah, the one where they Age of Sigmar, Witch Hunter?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Witch Hunter goes down and it's meant to be Skaven and it's not Skaven.
Yeah, and they collar a guy out of retirement.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. No spoilers. Hammer and Bolter on the whole, although the animation is extremely cheap with a lot of bits that
I would say variable, because I think they're all done by different studios.
Oh really?
I think so. That's why some of them look really different to others.
Okay. Yeah, maybe. It's not brilliant animation. It's okay, but it's that kind of thing where some bits move, some bits don't. They got better as time went on, but some of them were almost like animated comic.
Yeah. I think
kind of thing.
I think that the standout one, especially from the early bunch, is Bound for Greatness with the live
the Zinch book
with the library.
That was brilliant. That blew me away.
Yeah.
That was probably like the third episode or second or third episode.
Second.
And it blew me away. I was just like, oh yes, more of this. Or all of this. This is just like a Warhammer Black Library short story come to life.
Yeah.
Give me more of this.
Yeah,
because the first one was Yarrick, wasn't it?
No, it was Death's Hand. Was the first.
Oh, the assassin
with
on
the Inquisitor and the assassin, yeah.
That was humorous. The assassin sort of sat on a fucking ship, snipes a dude through a window.
That was it. And Old Baelai is the one you're thinking of. That was actually really funny. I really enjoyed it. From an orc, Yarrick from an orc's perspective.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Was that the third episode then?
Yep, that was the third one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, number 4 was Fangs, which I don't remember at all.
Fangs.
Yeah, but it looks like an AOS kind of barbarian type chap. So it's probably one of the Chaos guys, I think.
Okay.
But I don't remember at all. After that was Question the Faith, which I think is with the 2 Sororitas defending the tomb.
Oh yeah, no, that was a little bit. Yeah,
which I really quite
it was
enjoyed.
alright.
After that is In the Garden of Ghosts, which was a massive highlight for me. I absolutely loved it. Seeing an Ultramarine,
Oh, that's the
an
Eldar
Ultramarine,
versus the Space Marines.
yeah, seeing an Ultramarine
Yeah,
invasion of an Eldar craft world from an Eldar perspective, and they're all just like
yeah,
mad savages killing everyone.
yeah. Yeah, that was
That was great. It blew me away. That one.
yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That's very good. Kill Protocols after that. Yeah, it's Kill Protocol, which is it's got like a
Oh, the
Castellan.
Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah, which I don't remember too well, but I think it was good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's pretty good. It's like you got like an old faithful robot protecting its
Yeah,
data priest
yeah.
until the end. Kalia Stance, I don't remember that one at all.
I think it was just Imperial Guard in the trenches. Men are stupid. Girl saved you. I think it was one of those.
Oh, I do vaguely remember it now. I think I remember why I forgot it. Artifacts. That's a Black Legion one, isn't it?
I think it's Necrons. I think it's probably to do with
That's Necrons and Black Legion.
rolls in, I suspect.
Yeah, here we go. After ransacking the Necron tomb world, a group of Black Legion Terminators, led by the veteran warrior Hesiod. I thought this one was a little bit Saturday Villains.
A little bit, yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah.
Saturday.
And then it's Plague Song, which
Plague
is really
Song
good.
was surprisingly horrific.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was just like that's what Nurgle does.
Which was good. Double or Nothing was quite a funny one from what I remember.
It was funny. It didn't interest me, but yeah, it was all right. And then Monsters. So as I said, you had an Age of Sigmar double bill kind of
That's
film.
it.
And that was brutal, but
Is that a Death Sworn? Oathsworn. Oathsworn something. You know what Games Workshop are like with their double names. Something.
I thought it was just a bunch of marauders, to be honest. The dark dude, Darkhold, Oathsworn.
Didn't they get a war cry? Warband.
Oh yeah,
Dark Oath Chieftain?
yeah, Dark Oath. That sounds about right.
That lot.
Yeah. As you say, GW's name convention. It was okay. I mean, this is what basically I got up to Double or Nothing.
Mm.
So that's what I got up to, and then I left it for ages. So the ones that I watched at the weekend when I was dying were the last 4. So Monsters was it was okay. It was brutal. There's loads and loads of blood and gore and stuff. It's like Marauders or Dark Oath or whatever they are versus not Empire. Cities of Sigmar. It was alright. It was nothing to write home about. It was okay. A New Life.
It was great.
I loved it. I fucking loved it. It was like at the first, it's not obvious either. At the first, like the Imperial trying to keep the citizens in.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, they're just being dicks.
To keep everything contained.
And then you see the gargoyles and spores and stuff. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. So yeah, I again, no spoilers, but I really enjoyed A New Life. That's probably my second favourite behind the book one.
Bound for Greatness.
And Bound for Greatness. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed A New Life.
It's great.
I also enjoyed Undercity.
Undercity was good as well.
Yep, good characters, loads of action, kept you guessing.
Yeah, again, doesn't turn out how you...
It was good. It doesn't turn out how you think it would.
No.
So I really enjoyed that. And then Lucius the Eternal. Oddly enough, I was a little bit disappointed by that one.
I vaguely remember this one. It's with the teeniest warband in the world. Aren't they supposed to be rescuing someone who's getting interrogated?
Kind of. It's not Relictors. It's who's got the what Space Marine chapter's got the curved skull head?
Mortifactors?
They're red. No, it's not Mortifactors. They're black and something. Begins with an R. It's not Relictors. Is it Relictors? Might be Relictors, actually.
Just go with that.
Yeah, we'll say Relictors. And they've got like a chaos dude, and they're like torturing him, trying to find out who somebody is. And it's like, oh, it's Lucius Eternal. So they go after him. Again, try not to give any spoilers or anything, but it goes about as well as you expect.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one as much. It was okay, but again, it was very Saturday villain level.
Moustache twirling.
Kind of.
If Lucius had one.
Kind of. Yeah, it was just not. Like, A New Life was just kind of like, I was like, yeah, that's Warhammer 40,000 universe in a nutshell. That is it. Defined the bleakness, the kind of horribleness, and a very sort of mature kind of look at things.
Yeah.
And then I got to Eternal, and I was just like, it's a little bit Saturday villain, but it was kind of cool. Plus, it's got Justicars in it, which still seem to have no role in a chapter at all, from what I can see.
Those are the stupid flat sword
Yeah, that's
not
them. Yeah,
not
with
Chaplin
the
guys.
time stopping lantern.
Someone just did a really nice model and then went, "Oh shit, what do we do with this?"
It's exactly what
And then
happened.
some
I
poor
swear.
bastard had to make up the law for it.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
unfortunately for
Exactly.
me, from my perspective, because I got one obviously, like in the Indomitus box, not Indomitus. No, it was, wasn't it?
It wasn't Dominus.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And I was just like, it just looks like a Necron in power armor. Like
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
a skull for some reason with
It,
a bandana over the front, and they're kind of like,
it looked to me like an Age of Sigmar model,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
from the armor
And it's like,
to the little lantern thing.
yeah,
Everything about it screamed Age of Sigmar at me.
it's like I don't mind you 40k in AOS that much, but when you start AOS in my 40k, I'm going to get a little bit grumpy about it. And unfortunately,
Mm,
they have all over. But anyway,
yeah. Well, Angels of Death Origins looks to be the next thing. The prequel to Angels of Death.
yeah, that's just going to be more of the same, I think.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they've made some
Yeah,
improvements.
I mean it's okay,
Um.
it's watchable, but
Yeah. Yeah.
compared to
Absolutely.
the quality of some other stuff, it's kind of like, oh, Iron Within. Iron Within was really good as well. I thought.
You know what? I've not seen that.
Seriously,
Yeah. Yeah. I've not seen that.
Th-
Somehow that has passed me by.
thoroughly
Good, is
enjoyed it.
it?
Yeah,
One off.
I well enjoyed it. It is. I think it is just a one-off. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'll check that out.
Uh,
Yeah. No, I completely missed that.
yes, half hour,
Yeah.
28
I've seen
minutes.
it's got all the original scores for the shows on it as well.
Yeah,
It's quite
which
cool.
is quite nice. I'm not too sure
Yeah,
if
that's
that's.
actually
I
quite
don't
nice.
know if that's overconfidence or just really nice.
Hmm. It's got a Starties on there as a kick in the face.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what I'm pleased with at TV.
If you really like your Warhammer stuff,
I think it's hubris. I think it's hubris on GW's part.
yeah, it's like, look, if you really like Warhammer stuff and you want to have a hand in everything, then throw your money at it. It's not a problem. But I'd say it's worth it just to watch a whole bunch of the animations because most of them are great, to be fair.
Yes, I
But when it comes to some of the other aspects of it, it's kind of lacking.
initially I absolutely could not recommend it. There was just not enough on
Not
there.
enough content.
The fact that they're not cycling content and not taking stuff away means that I could absolutely tell somebody at the moment, look, if you was to sign up to this, there's definitely a good month, maybe 2 months that you could get out of it watching stuff.
Yeah.
Whether they manage to support it at the same rate remains to be seen. Personally, obviously, one of the big things that we've not talked about with Warhammer TV or Warhammer Plus, as far as the value goes,
Models?
is you do get a free miniature.
Yeah.
And I would say a big chunk of whether or not you want to subscribe to Warhammer Plus will be dependent on whether or not you want that miniature.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, my assassin's still in the box under a pile of stuff
Yeah, I
somewhere.
sold mine,
But
and I've got the Corn Terminator last time round, and I'm selling him too.
I think I might have one of those. I don't know. I've never liked that bit of artwork, so I wasn't really too fussed about getting a miniature for it.
I like the Mark Gibbon artwork, and imagine it's quite a nice painter's piece, but I have enough to paint, and I don't need it, so I'm probably going to try and flog it. However, this year's models,
Bit more interesting.
one of them
More interesting.
I really like and want, and it's not the Kassakin.
Yes, the Vampiress.
It's the Vampiress. And I don't want her as a Vampiress. I actually want her as a Dark Elder Archon.
I think I remember you saying that.
So I'll take off the head. And it's quite funny, it comes with 2 heads. I don't know if you've seen it. But the other head has got her hair, and it's like Bride of Frankenstein.
Yes, that's right.
So they're not horns, that's actually spaces for her hair. But yeah, I like that model, and I think that if you were to take off her head and lose the chalice and put something else there, you've got a really cool Dark Eldar Archon.
Yeah, definitely work.
To get it sooner, I would need to do the year up front, so that'd be a little while before I can afford it anyway. But the good thing about the year up front is you save quite a chunk of money now.
Oh, nice.
It's 50 quid for the year rather than £5.99 a month, which is what I'm paying at the moment.
Yeah. Which is like what?
So,
70, which is what, 72 quid?
Yeah, 72 quid. Yeah, exactly. So you save a good chunk. I would say if you want one of the models, and bear in mind, you could probably sell the models for about 30 quid on Facebook or something. That's what I'm expecting to get out of the Terminator.
Yeah, I've got to say the assassin was a bit
And
smaller than I expected.
yeah, the assassin was okay. It's nice as a display piece. It doesn't work in the game.
Yeah.
Even if you take the assassin off of the display piece and put him in the game, like put him on a base, he still doesn't really work, unfortunately. I do really like that vampire, and I do want to use one as a Dark Elder Archon, and I do have 6,000 points of Dark Elder to get around to at some point. So for that reason, I'm probably going to get a year's worth of Warhammer Plus, as and when I have the funds.
Yeah.
Because Damnation's in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be fucking horrible. And then Insomnium straight after.
Yep.
No money for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what I would say. I would say with Warhammer Plus, there's definitely enough content for a couple of months at least to keep you satisfied if you wanted to just get a couple of months to watch everything. And it's up to you if you want to keep it or not. Failing that, if you do like the miniature, and you bear in mind you're only paying 50 quid for a year anyway, you could call the miniature 30 quid, and you're paying 20 quid for a year's subscription, and you should get a £10 gift voucher at some point.
Yeah, so you kind of sort of...
That's not bad.
In a way, a little bit, get everything for tenner.
Or even if you say the miniature's worth 20 quid, it's cost you 20 quid for a year's worth of Warhammer Plus. That's not even £2 a month. That's more palatable, in my opinion. So, yeah, I would say that if you want one of the miniatures, Warhammer Plus isn't terrible, but it's not good. It's certainly a bit of hubris from Games Workshop regarding the platform. And what would you do to improve Warhammer Plus? And this is going to have to go in another video, but yeah. What would you do to improve Warhammer Plus?
Put the fucking White Dwarf rules back in.
Okay, put the White Dwarf rules back in, yeah? Anything else?
Potentially offer a greater range of exclusive models for it.
Okay, yeah. So you've like just not necessarily more models for your money, but a bigger choice of models to select. You could get 5 models, because the one you don't get you can buy anyway. They allow you to buy the one you don't choose to get for free for like 30, I think it is 30 quid.
Yeah, exactly. Wouldn't mind maybe some form of not a VIP treatment, but just some form of early access or something like that for any ticketed events that they do.
Yeah, that'd be a nice little subscriber bonus. I did think originally that it would be one idea to maybe give people sort of a queue priority type thing, new releases. Not sure how well that would go down, but it would add value. Yeah, they're all pretty good ideas in my opinion. What I would do to make Warhammer Plus more appealing would be to give you something that you can't get anywhere else. And that would be a limited amount of insider access.
Oh, or that.
What was your suggestion, sorry? What did you say?
No. Merch.
Oh, merch. Yeah, I mean, you could throw some merch in there. I think you'd have to. I think you could say, like, if it came with a free T-shirt or something, you'd have to bump the price up. That's the problem. What I would do interviews with designers. I would do backstage or back office tours and articles.
Yeah, I think that'd definitely be worth it. I mean,
things like I would do things like that just to, make it more interesting.
They'd have to give like staff a heads up and say, by the way, next week,
for 5 minutes.
Next week, this day, we're doing a tour.
Hide all the new shit.
Yeah, exactly. Hide all the stuff that's not out for 2 years.
There's a story, and there was a guy put the Gorkanaut in the window of the office that wasn't due to come out. I think it was Gorkanaut. Or no, it's Death Dread. Death Dread wasn't due to come out for like 6 odd months.
Right.
And somebody took a fucking photo of it.
Ah, brutal.
Got a very stern talking to. It was in one of the Paint and Face videos. Yeah, I would. Yeah. As I say, obviously, there'd be GW are not an open company. But it'd be fascinating to see some of these things, and I think some behind the scenes, backstage kind of things. I don't know how much is done, how much is working at home, and how much is in the office at the moment. But I think some of that would be really interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that would add value to the service. Maybe people would be interested in finding that kind of stuff. You could let a couple of carefully curated tidbits go by, and then it would spark excitement. People, oh man, did you see that article on Warhammer Plus that talked about blah, 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 blah. And the most frustrating thing, Matt, is they used to fucking do it. They used to have Voxcast and things like that for free, where they'd get people in to talk about stuff. And I'd do that again and just put it on Warhammer Plus.
Yep, should definitely do that. That'd be great. I mean, I think there's some developers that I'd rather not hear from, but on the whole, I think it'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that would be what I would add to Warhammer Plus to make it more enticing. Because, as I've said, although the animations, and we've said they are good, I think nearly everything else on Warhammer Plus can be had elsewhere on YouTube for free. And I think that is Warhammer Plus's main competitor. Not streaming platforms, YouTube. And YouTube is free.
There's not much they can do about it.
Not much they can do about it. So you need to offer something that YouTube can't do. And what YouTube can't do is behind the scenes exclusive shit.
Yep.
So just personally, that's what I would do to improve Warhammer Plus. But overall, yeah, it's I haven't unsubscribed. I keep saying I will. If neither of these models interested me, I would finally unsubscribe. If I like, no, I don't like either of them, then I would unsubscribe. But I certainly have a use for not young, very, very old, Alina von Karstein.
I wonder where you was going for a minute.
I'm not sure if that's somebody they've made up, or if she was already in the lore, but
I'm not sure. I'm not too up on like the von Karstein and Drachenfels lore.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that making a decent Dark Elder Archon. Definitely better than the weirdly posed one we've got at the moment.
With the crossed weapons?
Yeah, standing with his legs together, like his weapons over his chest. And all right, Captain Tryhard.
Isn't that very Dark Eldar though? Trying hard.
It is, but I don't think it makes for a good-looking model.
Yeah, maybe not.
Kind of standing there. I can understand like standing with like a haughty pose or something, but just make it a little bit more interesting than that.
Yeah.
They could do something. It's not very interesting. I mean, it's limited by the CAD design. Yeah, there's a whole section on here on Warhammer Plus for talk shows. Deep Strike. The problem with Deep Strike was all it was talking about bigging up the animation that they just had. So they'd show like half of Angel of Death, and then they'd have a load of people on saying how great Angel of Death was, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, these are my favourite bits of Angel of Death. I've just fucking watched it. I don't, you're not. Again, if they got the animators on or something like that, to maybe give some behind the details bits or something like that. This is how we animated this. This is the model we used for reference to render this or something. But it was literally just getting, employees on to say what their favourite bit was.
Yeah.
And
I don't really care about that.
Yeah, I don't care. It's not interesting to me. I'm definitely going to have to watch that Iron Within.
Good.
I shall check that out tomorrow while I'm editing. Not this one, but the Combat Patrol one. So, how are you feeling for time, man? It's 20 to 12. Have we got much else to talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it, wasn't it?
It's practically an early night for you. I mean, one of the things I will say quickly, and again, this is just delivering, so some of this might get edited out. One of the things that fucks me off with Warhammer Plus is its steadfast refusal to approach anything specialist games.
Actually, yeah, I can't say I noticed that. But yeah, that's annoying. You'd think they'd be putting stuff to do with Epic on there right now.
Absolutely nothing to do with Epic.
No. The closest they come is the learn to play stuff.
Yep, absolutely. I was going to say, yeah, the learn to play, which is it's pathetic that that's on here, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen a Blood Bowl. I mean, to be fair, it'd be quite difficult to get a Blood Bowl game into a battle report because they've gone for so long. None of the specialist games. I don't think I've ever seen. Has there been Necromunda? Kill Team, Warhammer, Underworld.
There's one Necromunda battle report.
One Necromunda battle report. Oh, and one Horus Heresy. Again, the problem. Oh, two. Oh no, it was a two-parter. I remember this now. It was a two-parter Horus Heresy battle report. But again, Sons of Horus versus Imperial Fists when it got released, just to promote the game. Nothing since. So those would be a year and a half old now, or a year and 4 months.
Corporations are going to corporate.
Yeah, that's it exactly. Corporate, and it's it's so obvious, especially with a lot of the master classes, and that was the problem I was having. It was just like, I mean, it was when the Avatar got released. I saw, and like the new master class was basically just paint the Avatar. I was just like, interesting, and they stretched that out to 3 episodes as well. I was like, yeah, not brilliant. So yeah, that's Warhammer TV's discussed and ripped apart quite nicely.
Yeah.
But as I say, we still subscribe at the end of the day, so we're still getting some value out of it. And I think we've broken down where the value can be obtained quite nicely. You know, those models are nice, and if you say they're worth 25 to 30 quid each, if you say it's 25 quid, it's half the value of your subscription back.
Yeah, exactly. See, Games Workshop, it's not all bad.
We don't hate
still
you,
subscribed.
really. We just get very, very
frustrated.
Don't do things as well as we think you could.